For decades you've heard it from everyone, right? Your doctor, your family, they all said that eating fish was the secret to a healthy heart and a sharp mind. It seemed like the one simple, reliable key to a longer, healthier life. But what if they were wrong? The truth is, for anyone over 60, some of the most popular fish in the grocery store are loaded with mercury and inflammatory toxins. These poisons can silently accelerate aging, fog up your memory, and make your joints ache. That healthy choice you're so proud of could be the very thing contributing to the brain fog you can't seem to shake, the pain in your knees that's getting worse, or that flutter in your heart that keeps you up at night. This isn't just a wild theory. It's a warning, backed by real science. As we get older, our body's ability to filter out these toxins weakens, leaving us more vulnerable than ever. Today, we're exposing the 4 fish you should never touch. And then, we'll reveal the 4 powerful alternatives that can actually help you feel younger. This isn't about scaring you, it's about empowering you. Because the choice between a meal that ages you and one that heals you is sitting right there under the lights of the seafood counter. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to tell them apart. Before we begin, let us know where you're watching from in the comments below, your age and location. It's always great to see our community from all around the world. We're going to start with the fish to avoid, because sometimes what you take out times of your diet is even more important than what you put in. These 4 fish are everywhere: restaurants, grocery stores, and they're often sold as healthy options. But for anyone over 60, they pose a silent but serious threat. Number 4. Farmed tilapia, the inflammation fish. This one might come as a shock. Tilapia is one of the most popular fish in America. It's cheap, it's easy to find, and it's been pushed for years as a healthy, lean protein. But here's the reality. For seniors, farm-raised tilapia is one of the most inflammatory foods you can eat. In fact, some research from Wake Forest University suggests its inflammatory potential can be worse than bacon. The problem is how it's raised. Most tilapia isn't caught in a beautiful, pristine lake. It's grown in industrial fish farms, especially in countries like China, where the fish are packed into crowded ponds that become a breeding ground for disease. To keep them alive in these conditions, farmers often use a mix of antibiotics and other chemicals. And those drugs don't just vanish, they stay in the fish, and when you eat it, they end up in your body. But the biggest problem is what they're fed. To keep costs down, farmed tilapia are given an unnatural diet of cheap corn and soy. This diet completely changes the fish's nutritional makeup. We eat fish for their anti-inflammatory omega-3 seconds, but farmed tilapia has almost none. Instead, it's loaded with inflammatory omega-6 fatty acids. Your body needs a balance, ideally a ratio of omega-6 to omega-3 that's close to 1:1. Farmed tilapia can have a ratio as high as 11:1, a recipe for inflammation. For a senior already dealing with arthritis, joint stiffness, or heart issues, eating farmed tilapia is like throwing gasoline on a fire. I once worked with a 70-year-old man named Arthur, who had terrible joint pain in his hands and knees. He was doing everything right, or so he thought. He'd even swapped red meat for what he believed was a healthier choice: grilled tilapia, 3 to 4 times a week. His inflammation markers were through the roof. We made one simple change. We swapped his farmed tilapia for one of the healthy fish we'll talk about in a minute. Within 2 months, the swelling in his hands had visibly gone down, and he could walk his dog again without pain. Number 3. Farmed salmon, the toxic imposter. This one feels like a betrayal, doesn't it? For years, salmon has been the king of healthy fish, the ultimate source of brain-boosting omega-3 seconds. But there's a huge difference between wild salmon and the farmed Atlantic salmon that now fills over 70% of supermarket shelves. Wild salmon get their bright pink color and amazing health benefits from eating shrimp and krill. Farmed salmon are raised in crowded sea cages where they are often infested with parasites like sea lice. They're fed pellets made of fish oil, fish meal, and cheap fillers, nothing like their natural diet. This means their flesh is naturally a depressing gray color. To get that healthy pink look, their feed is mixed with synthetic pigments. But the color is the least of your worries. The real danger is the contaminants. Farmed salmon is high in fat, which means it acts like a sponge for fat-soluble toxins. Independent lab tests have consistently found that farmed salmon has much higher levels of dangerous pollutants, especially polychlorinated biphenyls, or PCBs. PCBs are toxic industrial chemicals that were banned in the United States in 1979 because of their links to cancer. But they stick around in the environment, and they build up in the smaller fish that are ground into feed for farmed salmon. As a result, farmed salmon can have PCB levels 5 to 10 times higher than wild salmon. The Environmental Working Group has raised serious alarms, stating that farmed salmon is a significant source of PCBs in the American diet. For an older adult, this is a critical threat. Your body's detox systems, your liver and kidneys, aren't as efficient as they used to be. You can't clear these toxins as well. Over time, they build up, potentially harming your immune system. When you choose farmed salmon thinking you're helping your heart and brain, you could be doing the exact opposite. Number 2. King mackerel, the brain scrambler. Mackerel can be tricky because not all mackerel is created equal. Smaller types, like Atlantic mackerel, are a great choice. But king mackerel is a different animal entirely. And it's one that anyone over 60 should avoid, period. King mackerel is a large predator fish, high up on the food chain. With every smaller fish it eats, it absorbs more and more mercury. It's a process called biomagnification, a pyramid of poison. By the time you get to a top predator like king mackerel, the concentration of mercury is dangerously high. Mercury is a powerful neurotoxin. It attacks the brain and nervous system. The scary part? The symptoms of low-level mercury exposure can look just like the signs of aging we all dread: brain fog, memory loss, tremors, and confusion. You might think you're just having senior moments, when really, your brain could be getting silently poisoned by your dinner. The FDA and EPA have put king mackerel on their do not eat list for a reason, and seniors are considered a vulnerable group. The danger doesn't stop with the brain. Mercury can also damage the heart. If you see mackerel on a menu and you can't confirm it's a smaller, safe variety, you have to assume it's the high-mercury king mackerel and just say no. Number 1. Swordfish, the apex predator poison. Alright, this is the big one. If you take away just one thing from this video, let it be this. If you're over 60, swordfish needs to be off your menu permanently. It's often sold as a luxury, a thick, meaty steak that seems so impressive on the grill, but that image hides a toxic secret. Like king mackerel, swordfish is an apex predator that lives a long life, accumulating a massive amount of mercury. The FDA's own data is crystal clear. Swordfish consistently has one of the highest mercury levels of any fish. A single serving can blow past the entire weekly safety limit, especially for an older adult. When you eat that swordfish steak, that mercury goes straight into your bloodstream and makes a beeline for your brain and kidneys, 2 organs already under more strain as we age. The damage can cause a decline in memory, focus, and cognitive function. A neurologist I know told me a chilling story about a patient in his late 60s who started experiencing rapid cognitive decline. His family was terrified it was early-onset Alzheimer's. After months of dead-end tests, a doctor finally checked his heavy metal levels. His mercury was through the roof. His favorite meal? Grilled swordfish, at least twice a week. It took over a year of treatment to get the mercury out of his system, and he never fully got back the mental sharpness he'd lost. And listen to this. Cooking does not get rid of mercury. You can't boil it out or grill it away. The only way to protect yourself is to avoid it completely. There is no safe amount of swordfish for a senior. It's a gamble with your brain that you can't afford to lose. Okay, I know that was a lot of bad news, and it can feel a little disheartening. But take a deep breath. We had to clear out the dangerous stuff to make room for the good. And the good news is even more powerful. For every fish to avoid, there's an amazing healing alternative waiting for you. Let's talk about the fish you should be eating. Now for the solutions. These 4 fish are low in toxins, packed with healing nutrients, and perfect for supporting your body and mind after 60. Number 4. Wild-caught rainbow trout. The clean protector. After all that talk about farmed fish, you might be hesitant. But wild rainbow trout is completely different. It thrives in clean, freshwater rivers and streams, eating insects and small fish. This means it has incredibly low levels of mercury and other junk. But here's what makes wild trout a powerhouse for seniors. It's packed with high-quality protein and a special omega-3 called EPA. EPA is one of nature's best anti-inflammatory compounds. Study after study has shown that a diet rich in EPA can help reduce the inflammation that causes joint pain and stiffness. For anyone who wakes up with aching knees or stiff hands, wild trout is like medicine on a plate. Plus, wild trout is an amazing source of vitamin B12. As we age, our bodies don't absorb B12 as well, and a deficiency can cause serious fatigue, nerve issues, and brain fog. Just one serving of trout can give you more than your entire daily need for this crucial vitamin. And the best part? It has a mild, delicate flavor that even people who don't like fish tend to love. Number 3. Wild-caught salmon. The brain's bodyguard. We're back to salmon, but this time, the time's right, time's kind. Wild-caught salmon. We're talking about sockeye, coho, and king salmon from places like Alaska. This is the fish that earned the amazing reputation, and for good reason. It's one of the most powerful anti-aging foods on the planet. The key is its incredible nutrition. First, it's loaded with an omega-3 called DHA. Think of it this way. Your brain is about 60% fat, and DHA is the single most important fat for building and repairing it. Research from Rush University Medical Center showed that older adults who eat fish like wild salmon at least once a week had a much slower rate of age-related memory loss. But wild salmon has a secret weapon against aging, a powerful antioxidant called astaxanthin. This is what gives the fish its deep red color. Astaxanthin is one of the few antioxidants that can get directly into your brain and eyes to protect them from damage and inflammation. A 74-year-old retired teacher named Mary told me, "When I started eating wild salmon twice a week, I felt like my brain just woke up." That's not imagination. That's your brain getting the exact tools it needs to protect itself. Number 2. Sardines. The nutritional powerhouse. Don't click away. I know what you might be thinking. Sardines? But trust me, these humble little fish are one of the healthiest, safest, and most convenient superfoods you can eat, especially after 60. First, safety. Sardines are tiny and sit at the bottom of the food chain, so they don't accumulate heavy metals like mercury. Their mercury levels are practically zero, making them one of the safest fish in the ocean. Nutritionally, they are off the charts. They are packed with both EPA and DHA omega-3 seconds for your heart and brain. But here's the kicker. Sardines are one of the best natural food sources of vitamin D and calcium. As we age, the risk of osteoporosis and fractures goes way up. You get both vitamin D and a huge dose of calcium from their tiny, edible bones, a powerful 1-2 punch for keeping your skeleton strong. I had a client in his late 70s who was terrified after fracturing his hip. His bone density was low. We added 3 cans of sardines a week to his diet. A year later, his doctors were stunned. His bone density had actually improved. He gave his body the tools it needed to start rebuilding. Number 1. Anchovies. The tiny fish with Titanic benefits. If sardines are a powerhouse, then anchovies are the unsung heroes of the sea. Many people are turned off by the salty, fishy taste, but their health benefits are so huge, it's worth finding a way to get them in your diet. Like sardines, they are tiny, low on the food chain, and exceptionally low in mercury. Where anchovies really shine is their concentration of specific nutrients. They are bursting with DHA for brain function, helping to keep your memory and focus sharp. They are also an incredible source of selenium, a mineral that protects you from cellular damage and supports your immune system and thyroid. And just like sardines, you eat them whole, bones and all. This makes them a phenomenal source of natural, bioavailable calcium for bone density. Don't like the taste? Here's the secret. Use them as a flavor booster. Mince 1 or 2 anchovy fillets and let them melt into a pasta sauce, salad dressing, or stir-fry. All the fishiness disappears, leaving behind a rich, savory, umami flavor. You get all the amazing benefits without even knowing it's there. So, the choice is clearer now, isn't it? On one side, you have the fish to avoid: inflammatory farmed tilapia, toxic farmed salmon, and the mercury-heavy king mackerel and swordfish. They can silently steal your health. On the other side, you have the 4 healing heroes: clean wild trout, brain-protecting wild salmon, the powerhouse sardine, and the mighty anchovy. These are the fish that fight inflammation, sharpen your mind, and strengthen your body. Your dinner plate is one of the most powerful tools you have to control how you age. You can make it a source of healing instead of a source of stress. The power is yours. Which of these fish surprised you the most? And which healthy one are you going to try this week? Drop a comment below. I love hearing your stories and seeing this community learn and grow. And if you found this information valuable, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We share new, science-backed videos every week to help you on your health journey. Thanks for taking this time for yourself. Make the right choice. Your future self will thank you for it.